How are you doing, everybody, and welcome back to another Path of Diablo 2 guide. Today I'm going to be showcasing my bow sorceress. It's kind of a meme build, but it's actually fairly viable. And one other note I will make is that this build actually had a fairly significant nerf, indirect nerf, due to a change in the way Inflame works and Refrigerate works. But it is still a very viable build, and I'm going to showcase it for you guys today. I'm going to start out with, we're going to do a quick cow run here. This build is very good at killing cows. It is very expensive to kill cows, but it's an easy thing that I can kind of showcase for you guys. And as you can see, it shreds super hard. We're obviously using the DoomSlinger bow, which is going to give us Multishot. And normally you probably wouldn't want your mercenary in here, but he kind of shreds too. An Orb of Corruption, that's a good start. This is my first video of the day. I apologize, I know I haven't uploaded a video in quite some time, but I am very burnt out on Diablo. I've been playing it a lot, getting all these videos uploaded. And I've also been off work from my normal job, which you'd think you'd be wanting to put out more videos, but it kind of just makes you demotivated to do anything. I've been playing a lot of really stupid stuff. I've been playing Farm Simulator. I know you guys don't care about that, but thanks for being my shrink for a moment. Back to the build. It's very good. It's fun to play. It's definitely very different. You can still teleport around. You do lack a little bit of FCR. You can weapon swap if you need to teleport very quickly. Very tanky, as you guys can see. I just face tanked a bunch of cows there. Like I said, it's not going to be the most fast build. It does excel a lot in like tier 3 maps due to the lack of fire means. It does struggle with fire means a little bit. You can kill fire means, but it's in my opinion, it's not really worth the time. You can definitely do chaos with this build. Once again, there's a lot of fire means there. I'll kind of show you guys really quick. I'll run a chaos maybe towards the end of this just to showcase the chaos. It's like a 6 or 7 minute chaos. It's not at all going to be super viable. You guys can see we got an amp damage cow king, but definitely kill him. You got limit demon them. Your mercenary is going to be your main source of dealing with fire immunes. You do a little bit of cold damage, and the cold damage from Refrigerate does help slow the mobs. But it's still pretty slow. It's just not worth it in my opinion. But it is a very fun build. It's definitely a different build. You're going to turn some heads with this build. It's also a really good support build if you're in like an 8-man at the beginning of ladder. You know, you're doing 8-man T4s or 8-man T3s. Any physical builds love this build because you are amping the damage of everybody. You can see I'm doing almost 31,000 fire damage. So if you have a physical Zon in your build or in your game, he's gonna love you if you got like a Zealer or something like that. Any of the melee paladins, they love you. I don't know, like a kicks in. Man, what is with the orbs drops today? That's 3 in one game. That's insane. 3 in one map, not even one game, one map. Yeah, it's definitely a fun build. You're pretty tanky due to the Defiance on your mercenary. You can see we got almost 8,600 defense there. It's just one of those builds you're going to sit back and relax and have some fun. And it's just a meme build, that's all. The viable meme build. Some meme builds are just for shits and giggles. This meme build is for damage and buffing your teammates. I wasn't really paying attention about how well I cleared this map, but we'll call that done. And we'll hop into town here. And we'll hop into the actual build part of the guide here. We'll start off with our skills and abilities. Pull up my Google document here. I do prep a little bit. So it's like I said, it's mostly going to be a fire build. The order in which I level them is 20 warmth. This is going to help you basically use 0 mana. As you can see, I didn't use a mana potion the whole time. 20 in flame. Next, I'm going to max out fire mastery. 20 in fire mastery. And then these are just prerequisites. I threw 1 point in Hydra. I don't think it's necessary. I'd save the point. It's just to help deal more fire damage if you want. You can pop it down when you're boss killing. You know, it's doing 3,000 fire damage to, like, if you're trying to kill Mephisto or something. You can pop that down, spam your bow, and then pop another one down if you want. In cold skills, max refrigerate. These are going to be prerequisites. You're going to put quite a few points. Basically, any of your leftover points, you're going to toss in shiver armor. I've got quite a few in there, I believe. I think I got like 10 in there. Something like that. That's going to be, just a good chunk of damage is basically all you're using that for. 1 point into cold mastery here. Then don't forget your teleport skills, obviously. Well, I think that's everything. So your main damage is going to be coming from Inflame, and then your secondary damage is going to be coming from Refrigerate. And this is how you're going to get that big chunk of damage here, buffing it up. And the way this works is the way they nerfed it, basically. You used to be able to pre-buff, and you would throw on all your plus fire gear and your plus skill gear, and then you would cast Inflame. There is no Inflame. You won't even see it here. You won't see Refrigerate either, because they've actually turned into auras now. I don't have to cast it on him. I can't cast it on him, actually. You see his damage will go outside here. You can see his damage jump to 12k. That's because it acts like an aura now, which is also why they've kind of nerfed it in a way, because you're not allowed to pre-buff. So before, you would use an Ashuta's and you'd get, the 20% enhanced fire damage would apply to it, but now it does not, because you're not actually casting it. So you're only getting that fire damage. You see I'm at 35k now, but I can't obviously use my bow, and when I swap back I lose the damage. So it's just one of those things that we used to be able to do like 60k fire damage, and now we're down to 31k, but it's still definitely viable. Still a fun build. We're not seeing it as much because it's been pretty significantly nerfed due to that change, but it's definitely a quality of life type deal as well. So but yeah, next we'll jump into our stats. You'll notice my stats, I screwed up. I need 12 more strength. You really want to be able to use a Spirit Monarch, so you're going to want that 156 strength to get those 2 extra skills and the FCR when you're teleporting. The only reason you're going to swap is when you're teleporting, just to make it teleport that much faster. You guys can see my FCR on my regular is only 20. When I swap, it's at 60, but it would actually be 60 plus 35, which would get me to 95, but it's breaking that 65 FCR breakpoint is the real what you're actually going for there. So right now I'm at like the tier 1 breakpoint for teleporting, which is stupid slow, and that's no good. But that is the stats. You're going to put a little bit into Dex, just enough to use your crossbow here and anything else that requires Dex. I think it's just a crossbow. It's actually going to be this crossbow that you're going to want. You're going to need 95 Dex. I'm a little bit over, not too bad there. Everything else with this specific version of this build is dumping into Vitality. The other thing I'll mention is there's actually like 3 or 4 different versions of this build. This is the one I chose. There's also an ES variant. I'll leave a link down to another guide. It's a little bit outdated due to the fact that it was made last season and doesn't include the nerfs, but the general concept is still there and you can tweak it to your liking. But this is how I do it. I like it. It's fun. It's viable. All that good stuff. So that should be good for the stats. So I'll recap that really quick. 156, just enough for gear, which in my case is 95. And then everything else we're going to dump into Vitality for 1400 life. You guys can see the one downside of this build, it is very hard to get resistances. My resistances are a little sloppy, but you have so much defense here. Once you put on your Shiver Armor and your Defiance, it's not too big of a deal. Up next, we got the gear. And I'm going to give you guys a couple different options. I'm going to tell you what I'm using and maybe what's better to use. I've got this specific character kitted out just to have a little bit of Magic Find. I'm at 237 right now. And I sacrifice a lot of resistances by doing it, trying to get that Magic Find. But if you're going to be if you're going to be running strictly like T4s or something, or buffing, you might want to go a little more tanky and shoot for a little more Magic Find, or shoot for a little more resistances and forego the Magic Find if you're going to be playing solo. I like the Magic Find, of course. But we'll start off, obviously the necessity to this class is going to be the DoomSlinger. You have to have this item. I would say a minimum of 4 sockets, and what you want to do actually is you're going to up it first to the Chuknu, the Chuknu. You're going to up it to this version of the bow. and then you're going to slam it and try to get 5 sockets would be the max. I only got a 2-socketed one, so I had this one laying around, and it rolled 4 sockets. It is unupped, which kind of sucks, but I do have 2 facets in it. They're both fire facets. I forget the exact rolls. I think one's a 3-4, and the other one's a 4-3 or something. I don't know. But those do increase your damage a lot. I've also got a shell in there. You're going to want to put at least 1 shell in there just to get the attack speed. That's going to hit your minimum attack speed breakpoint. And then the last slot, you can either put a nerf rune if you want a little bit of knockback. I will say the knockback in this bow with the nerf rune is a little bit buggy. It only seems to work on like every other actual arrow that you shoot out, and it can be a little bit annoying when you're just shooting them off your screen all the time. So you could throw in another. What I would do is throw 2 more facets in this if it was a 5-socketed DoomSlinger, just to squeeze out that little bit of extra damage. But yeah, you have to use this. Next, we'll go to the other important piece. It's going to be your bow, your bolts. This bolt is actually a pretty bad example of what you'd want. This whole build revolves around +1 skills. So the best in slot you'd want on here would be like 22 pierce, I believe is the max. 22 or 24 pierce. You want as much pierce as possible. Let's see, this one's got 20 on it. Minimum and maximum damage and flat damage do absolutely nothing. So it's actually the opposite from an actual bow build, because that flat damage does not scale with refrigerate or inferno. Not inferno. Oh my god. Inflame. There we go. Sorry. It does not scale with inflame. So the flat damage means literally nothing. You're going to want pierce +1 to all skills, not bow skills and not sorcerer skills. Not that you can roll that. You're going to want any resistances that you can squeeze out of anything. And then I obviously like Magic Find, so I got the 24 Magic Find on there. I kind of switch back and forth between these two. This one gives me a little bit of life on hit. That's good. Poison damage worthless. Flat damage is also worthless. The piercing attack is what you want. Let's see. Next up, we can go with the chest. I'm using Enigma. I was testing it out with Enigma. I wish I had a Chains of Honor to test it out. I don't have the Burr Rune to spare at the moment, and quite frankly, I haven't been playing as much. I think I'm like 98% sure Chains of Honor is going to be a much better option. You're going to lose a little bit of Magic Find, and you lose the big chunk of strength that this gives you. But Chains of Honor gives like 65 all res, and you guys can see 65 all res would just about max out all my my resistances here. So I would recommend strongly forgo the Enigma with this build and go with Chains of Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have one. But the damage that you guys are seeing is going to be the same because they're both 2-all skills. Obviously, we're using a Shaco. You can throw an Rune in this as well. I threw the P Topaz in it rather, just to squeeze out the extra bit of Magic Find. If you're short on just a couple res, 10, 15 res, throw the Rune in this. That'll help you out a little bit. Gloves, I'm using a Mage Fist. This is going to be pretty much best in slot for you. No need to use anything else. You're only using this for the fire skill on it. That's going to help out all your fire skills, obviously. I'm using War Travelers for the boots. Once again, for Magic Find, these are 50s. These are perfect. Downside with using these, they give you no resistances. You could also throw on Natalia's if you want some cold res and lightning res, or you can throw on Trex if you're getting destroyed by poison. You can see just the boots alone by swapping these out. If you need fire res, you can throw on Aldur's. I believe does fire res, and just help out your resistances in any way you can, because like I said, that is going to be the main downfall of this build. So if I'm in like a T1, I definitely throw these on, or T2, anything with poisons in it, throw the Trex on. If you're struggling with lightning or cold, you can throw on the Natalia's, or if you're stacked out because you've got a Chain of Honor, you can throw on the War Trav to get that extra bit of Magic Find. The belt you have to use, Razor Tail. You used to be able to pre-buff with ARAC, but like I said, you can't pre-buff anymore, so just use a Razor Tail now. If you got another belt that you've rolled piercing on, you can do that too. But in my opinion, 33 pierce is just too much to not have. Good all-around belt, 15 dex helps out as well. Rings. I'm using a BK ring. You can use 2 BKs or 1 BK and a Ravenfrost. Ravenfrost is good so you don't get frozen. It also gives you that little bit of attack rating and dex. That helps out. BK rings, definitely use these instead of Soj. because your multi-shot is going to proc that life on hit, which is going to keep you alive. Amulet, I'm using a +2 30 all-res Maris. Unfortunately, this one corrupted as a regen mana 15 instead of the +3. You really want the +3, you want that extra skill, that would help out a lot, obviously, as this is a all plus skill build. And as you guys have already seen, I put Q. On the swap, I'm using Anashudas for the 40 FCR. You can just use a regular Spirit if you want, so that's up to you, or a Hodo, or whatever. And then Spirit Shield, which I screwed my stats up, and I made a gear swap, and now I can't use my shield anymore. But get 156 strength, it's going to get that extra little FCR, and gives you some resistances when you're teleporting, stuff like that. As far as the inventory, we're using all fire skillers. The good thing about fire skillers, with the exception of this one, which is an all-res 15 charm, the fire skillers, these things are dirt cheap. Like, at this point in ladder, you can get, I think I paid like 2 to 3 ook for most of these. You can get 2 for an sometimes you pay a little bit, pay a pull a piece. But the fire skillers are just absolutely disgustingly cheap. Even at the beginning of ladder, they're insanely cheap, so good to pick up those. I got 110 lifer there. I do have an Annie as well. This one's a 10-12 dog crap Annie. Got a torch, 3-14. The downside with the torch, it is source skills, so it's not going to be affecting our multi-shot level, but it does affect all the other abilities, so that is good. The other thing would be careful about with the helmets is don't fall for a helmet like this. While this helmet is very, very strong, it actually will drop our damage due to the fact that it's not all skills, it is sorcerer skills. And those sorcerer skills do not apply to the multi-shot. So you want all skills, not sorcerer skills, so just keep that in mind. A couple of different things have sorcerer skills on them. You're going to want the all skills. Another helmet you can use, if you're going more the cold route instead of the fire route, is you can use like a Night Wings or something like that. That would be very strong. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. That's about it. As far as the other charms I've got in my inventory, they're just all small charms with resistances on them, just to try to get my resistances up. If your resistances are good, you can definitely use like 320/20s or something for the attack rating. The minimum damage isn't doing a whole lot, but 20 lifers, any attack rating you can get is definitely going to be good. You can see I've got a pretty good chance to actually hit stuff with my current attack rating, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. Over onto the mercenary, we're using the normal stuff here. This is my shaft stop and my Talhelm, so he has max attack rating and attack speed, kitted out like that, and then he's using an infinity. The infinity does big damage, that is nice. It also helps break some of the fire immunes, so that's always nice as well. And he won't break cold immunes or anything like that, but you do enough fire damage so it shouldn't matter. That's basically it, guys. Let's hop into a chaos. I'll kind of show you what I mean by chaos can be a little slow sometimes. We'll swap over to my alt here. We'll pre-buff this and get absolutely destroyed. And we're just going to teleport in here, not mess with any of these fools. Swap back over. Yeah, and these guys are easy peasy. What the tough part is going to be these Venom Lords. So you can see we can definitely do some damage to them, and our Mercenary will like one-shot them, but as far as us doing the damage, it can be fairly slow compared to like an actual Boson or any of the other classes that just absolutely wreck Chaos Sanctuary. We'll throw on my timer here just so you guys can kind of see where we're at the time. So you can see my Infinity is not going to be breaking these, which is kind of sad, but that's how it works. If you plan on only running Chaos, you can probably spec your character a little more cold, or in a route of cold. You can put in more cold faces and stuff like that, but fire is just so strong in my opinion. As with any of the other bow classes, the farther you aim out, the tighter your bows get, the closer you get, the wider your shots are. I was still, in general, even though you are fairly tanky with your 8600, which gives them a 36% chance to hit me, you are still a sorceress, and you do still take quite a bit of damage if you get hit, so I would avoid taking damage if you can. We are decrepified, which really sucks. Alright, there we go. And you guys can see that while we do kill stuff fairly quickly, it is slow because of those venom wards. But I will also partly show you guys a tier 3. Gotta show you with something with no... That's my first Alibaba this season. I've bought like so many of these Alibabas. We'll do a T3 and show you what something with like 0 fire means can do. Gives you good experience, stuff like that. Absolutely shred those guys. Just a fun build all around. I mean, I really don't have too many complaints with it. You know, you make a build like this because you want to be a little bit different. Like I said, it is a meme build. But it's also fun at the same time. You're not going to hinder yourself by doing this. You can still solo. It's not going to be one of those meme builds that you can only play with other people. With that being said, I probably would just roll a separate sorceress if you want to still have a normal sorceress to run and stuff like that. But it is definitely very strong. Like I said, this is just the one variation of this build that I've actually tested myself. There is 2 or 3 others. And like I said, I'll link those down in the description of this video, along with timestamps. You guys can kind of hop around and check it out. And check out those other builds. Maybe you want to do some more testing than what I did. Alright, wrapping up on this is going to be the difficult one, obviously. You kind of got to kite these guys a little bit sometimes. And don't let your mercenary die. Go, not too shabby. You can see he's pretty tough. Alright, and then Diablo's laser, obviously because our resistances are dog crap, it can be a little tricky sometimes. You're going to want him to fight your mercenary, and then you should be able to do more than enough damage to knock him out pretty quick here. Do that, and then immediately get lasered because it's Diablo. Without getting lasered. And so that wasn't ideal because he lasered us a bunch of times, but typically you'd want to just get your mercenary on him and let him fight your mercenary and not you, because the far that you want to be far away, obviously, but he needs to be swiping at your mercenary. If he's just swiping your mercenary, he won't actually kill him. If he lasers you in the process and your mercenary's in the way, your mercenary's going to die, obviously. Let's go back to town here. I'm not going to run this full T3 because it's going to take forever and nobody wants to watch that. But I'll give you guys an idea of kind of what's going on with this. See if my mercenary will give me a defense buff here. Alright, so this is going to be a T3 map really quick here. Like I said, not a whole lot of pre-buffing or anything like that. You're going to want to just stay back, let your mercenary handle the tanking, and you're just going to be a glass cannon back here. There's a fire immune, but majority of them aren't going to be fire immune. You see that we pretty much one-shot everything in here. Just about 1 or 2 shot. Shoot down the hallway here, just absolutely shred all these guys. This is going to be your pride and joy in this map right here. Because, on average, there's no fire immunes. Just champions can roll it every occasion. Just gonna keep on grinding. And you're just gonna click and blast and click and blast and watch everything melt here. Just about it. Not a whole lot to this build. Very fun. Very laid back. Not stressful at all. Just shoot off map and watch stuff die. Like I said, your teammates love it because you can't pick anything up because you're going to be at the back of the party. Which is kind of why if you're in a group setting, your magic find isn't going to matter. So you're going to want to be a little more tanky than this. can't always teleport because you're a sorceress to, you know, reset your mercenary if you want him in a different position. You can also run forward like that and then jump backwards just to kite him. That's sacred 45 Targe. Wow. Yeah, so this is basically it, guys. Basically it. You see, even with my terrible resistances, we kill stuff fast enough and our defense is high enough where it doesn't really matter that our resistances aren't all that great. But if you're playing hardcore and you want to try out this build, or you're not fully geared, or, you know, just a little bit worried about the resistances in general, get that Chains of Honor. That's going to help you guys out a ton. Unfortunately, I just don't have the currency to buy it. Another orb. Oh my goodness, we are so lucky. We're getting streamer loot today, boys. Grab this jewel. Alright, we're just gonna wrap around this corner here real quick. I'll give you... Just gonna try to find the boss really quick. I did have to mana pot there because we got mana drained, but... Fire enchanted there. You can see they still go down fairly quickly, especially if your mercenary's actually hitting them, but... There's a T1 relic. What a high ring, that'd be great. What a bourbon, I can actually make my Chains of Honor, that'd be insane. I am not that lucky though. Diablo's way of trying to trick me back into grinding every day of my life. I am lucky though, I am going back to work this weekend, so maybe I'll become more motivated to upload more Diablo 2 videos. Kind of weird that working work 40 hours a week and all of a sudden you want to work more by making YouTube videos, because making these videos aren't exactly easy. It's not difficult by any means, but it's not easy either. It's definitely work. Alright guys, we'll call that it here. Not finding any goodies here. I'll grab this stuff here, but we're going to call that it today. Thank you guys once again for watching and sticking with my channel here. I am forever appreciative of all the support I get, even though I haven't been uploading videos. But yeah, please be sure to check out any of my other videos if you like. Hit that like button and drop a subscription if you like what I make. I very occasionally make videos. If you guys have any other ideas on other builds you want to see, other games you want to see, I can definitely upload some very intriguing farming simulator videos. I'm kidding, I would never do that to you guys. That's it guys, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys later, adios.
On my way through the night, please give me some more time. I can be